Welcome, everybody, to the PHDJ Podcast. My name is Mike.
And this is Joe Bunn.
How's everybody doing out there? Hope you're having a good day. Joe, we should mention that we are pre-recording this. True. Because you are... Where are you? What, are you going away?
Where am I going? Oh, no. I paid a lot of money for this big internet summit that's coming to Raleigh. So
okay.
Seth Godin is coming and all these big-time Amazon people and social media people from all these major companies for 3 days to Raleigh. So I for the first time in 3 years, I think they've been doing it here, I committed and bought a ticket. So I'll be in those workshops. Yeah.
Continuing education.
Yes, sir.
Joe, I like that about you.
Yes,
so
sir.
Let me guess, a lot of this that you learn, will you incorporate this into our workshop in March?
100%. I'll
Very
bring
cool.
it to the workshop.
How's that for a smooth segue?
I'll give you little tidbits on this show, and then I'll give you the real meat.
Little teasers on this show. But if you want the meat and potatoes, you got to join us.
Yes, sir.
So let's lead with that. If you are interested, I know we have a lot of loyal listeners and people that would like to spend a day and a half and learn even more from us. You can go to phdjworkshop.com, check out the whole itinerary, and listen to some of our past attendees and graduates rave about the workshop, and then sign up. You should be there for Mobile Beat, and then hang out with us for day and a half after that.
And also, Mike, I think we mentioned at the end of last episode. Sorry, I'm mixing up a little vitamin C potion here. I'm not feeling.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, sorry.
Video. Yeah, it looks like Joe's doing something.
It looks like
camera.
I'm cutting up cocaine lines or something, but I'm not. Look, I promise. Like, there it is.
Okay,
there it is.
You fighting a cold? You sound like it.
Yeah. It's not great.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of shows to do, but anyway, I think I'm beating it down. But we did mention, Mike, didn't we tease out that we knew the holidays were coming up, and if people wanted to kind of term out the payment a little bit, we would do that?
Yes, you said that at the end of the second two episodes ago, right? We shouldn't just hide that as a teaser. It's a $800 commitment or $700 commitment. So if that's a little bit too much for you to lay out in one shot, reach out to me directly, Mike at eliteentertainment.com, or if we're connected on Facebook, message me through Facebook, and we can certainly work out a payment plan. And you can give a third, or half, whatever you want to do. We can work it out.
Very cool.
We can't work it out.
Yeah, I knew that.
Can't work it out. Life is very short, and there's no time. How's that?
It's not bad.
That out? Yeah, I'd never be a singer. For singing, fighting,
I'm a terrible singer. That's why I'm a DJ.
Too. Yeah, me too. All right, so this is my episode, so I had to come up with the idea. I read an article recently in Rolling Stone magazine called The 100 Greatest Songs of the Century So Far. In other words, it was an article about the best songs from 2000 to today, 100 best.
No,
obviously,
is that a century? No, that's not right.
Well, this century, the century of, we are in the 21st century.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
We are 18 years into the 21st century.
Gotcha, okay.
So neither one of us, I'll give you some depressing news, neither one of us are going to reach the end of this. We're not going to see the 22nd, that's for sure. But yes, we are into the 21st century. So it got me thinking. Now, obviously, if you want to look up the Rolling Stone article, you can Google that and find it. Obviously, Rolling Stone is talking about best songs, based on whatever criteria they're using, but they're not certainly using party songs and songs that are going to pack your dance floor. But it got me thinking, why don't Joe and I, because people do love when we talk about music, and especially music that we use at our events. So why don't we put together a list? And I think 25 was the right number. So Joe and I have both put together a list of the top 25 songs. And let's just make sure we both use the same criteria here, Joe.
Okay.
25 songs that we use at our events that have been released from 2000 on. So 2000 to today.
Yep.
And you put any slow songs in there?
I did not. I did not.
Me. So these are all dance songs that we can look to kind of pack our dance floors.
Yeah, I'm just checking the dates on. There were a couple I had to check the dates on, and I had to
Me
dump
too.
them.
And I'm actually, my very first one is I'm gonna squeeze it in there, and I'll explain why. But kind of a borderline one, but we'll get to that. So as we did with our top 40 list, and that was one of our most popular episodes over a year ago. It was episode 40. Joe and I did our top 40 playlist, and that wasn't restricted by dates or release dates. It was just of all time. And we compared those lists. And if I remember correctly, my fear going into that episode was that we were going to have a lot of repeats, but we didn't. I think over half of our lists were different. I think we had 17 the same and 23 that weren't. So it was a pretty diverse list. I'm interested to see out of 25 here, what's your guess that we're going to have the same?
Out of 25, I think it's going to be 18 to 20.
You think that high of repeats?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know one for a fact that I have on here that you don't have.
All right.
We'll see. So why don't we go in groups of 5 again? Okay. Give me first 5, and again, this is not in in the order of you think this is the best to worst, or most useful to least useful at 25. But this is just in alphabetical order, so we can kind of match up lists. Give me your top 5. So beginning with the letter A, if you have an A.
It'll actually begin with 24 Karat Magic if we're doing an alphabetical order.
Because you have a number. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Bruno always seems to work. I don't know. It also has a place in my heart. Really, from 2 weekends ago when my parents came to that wedding, and my mom, she's screaming from the bar, "Play Bruno!" But your parents never come to a gig, and they never really get to see like a full production wedding, especially. And somehow she got me out on the dance floor, so there will be pictures, I'm sure, of me.
Well, so this always leads to an interesting question to me. If somebody says to you, "Play Bruno Mars," is 24K, is that the one you reach for?
Uptown is usually my
because I was going to say I didn't ask you to impose this restriction on yourself, but I only have one song per artist.
I think this is the only exception for me. Is I definitely have Uptown
Bruno
on here.
That you have out of 25 songs in the last 18 years, 2 of them are Bruno Mars songs. That's quite a
yes.
So
I love
all
Bruno.
right, so we already have a difference. 24K is not on my not on my list.
My next one, All I Do Is Win.
That's not on my list either,
wow.
Joe. We might have a lot more differences than you think.
I always pull that one.
24K. Okay.
Yeah. Then my next one is.
All I Do Is Win is the other one. Yeah.
Yep,
okay.
Yep. Right. My next one is Blurred Lines.
God, I took that. You know what? I think we even talked about this recently. I took that out of my party playlist.
I did and I didn't. I mean, there's sometimes I just know it's going to work. I do get several people a year that say, "Do not play this," as if, there was that whole thing that it was offensive or rapey or whatever. And
I shouldn't say I never cared about that, but I never thought that. I never thought it. First of all, I never believed it.
I didn't either.
Second of all, it never affected it for me. Its efficacy.
Yeah.
I'm getting that word in.
That's a good word.
But to me, it just stopped being effective.
Right.
And I remember a couple of parties where I dropped it.
Right.
And obviously, if the bride asks for it, I'm going to play it. So, but the last 6 months, the only time I've ever played it is by the bride's request.
You know what's funny, Mike? Remember when you and I did those storytellers things? If you remember, like one of my all-time favorite songs is "Got to Give It Up," which they, Marvin sued Robin Thicke's camp and they lost whatever $20 million on it. So, I think it just kind of prolongs the legacy of that song.
I predict, by the way, that ruling will get overturned.
Really?
I predict that. Yeah. I write about that in my book, another shameless plug on thestatemusic.com. There's a whole day. There's a whole day on Blurred Lines.
Yeah.
That it was a really bad. It was a jury trial, first of all, and the jury just obviously did not understand. Yeah, they just didn't understand. They basically said that Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams stole the feel of a song, but you can't copyright a feel of a song.
Right.
You have to copyright specific, series of notes or lyrics. It's not and yes, obviously it was inspired by, but you know what? Got to Give It Up was inspired by other songs.
Absolutely.
So when do we stop suing? You're going to sue your way all the way back to Chuck Berry, basically. You know what I mean? So anyway, wow, we're 3 for 3. I do not have any of those 3.
Timberlake, Can't Stop the Feeling.
It's the first one I have on my list. So yep.
And then my 5th one before you take over, Crazy in Love, Beyonce.
So those 2 we have, and I think they're both going to be in my top 5. So, so here's my top 5 based on alphabetical order. As I said, the first one, slightly controversial, just based on release date. Be Faithful by Fat Man Scoop.
I love
was released in '99, but the remix that I use was released in '03. So I'll allow it. I'm going with Be Faithful. It is one of my peak hour hip hop songs that just crushes my dance floor.
Yep.
And so I'm going to go with that. And I don't care if you
I'm allowing it. I should have it on my list. But can I rewind for 1 second? What you can't like throw that gem out there and not tell the people which version you're using. Do you know what it's called?
No, I don't. I mean, I have it. Yeah.
So there's some remix. I mean, it's not labeled like the blah blah.
It's a remix or just a re-release. But if you look it up, I Wikipedia it was released. I think it was released on an album in '99, but the single release was 2003. So I'm
allowing it.
Well, thank you. I don't know what would have happened if you told me no. I would have a list of
your short one song.
Cake by the Ocean.
Wait, what was it? Sorry.
Cake by the Ocean.
Oh no. I love that, but I don't have it.
It kills for me.
Wow.
It's in that sweet spot. I love songs that are in the teens, 100 and teen.
Me too.
Because they help, to me, those songs help me get from a hip hop set to a dance set.
Absolutely.
You need songs in that BPM range. And so I often will drop that and pitch it down to come out of a hip hop set. And then sometimes I will change the BPM of that song by 10 BPMs during the playing of it. I'll pitch it down to 113 and then I'll have it up to 125 by the time I'm mixing out of it. So Cake by the Ocean, big one for me. As I said, I also have Can't Stop the Feeling. Yep. Justin Timberlake. What version of that do you use? Do you use the original? Do you have any kind of remix?
I use a shameless plug for BPM Supreme. I use their version. It's just a little bit longer of that dun, just that at the beginning. So I could even talk it up if I needed to.
I hate to say it. I don't know where I got this club remix from, but I have a club remix of it. Those of you who listen to my SoundCloud page have probably heard it because I've put it into a number of different mixes that I've shared on my SoundCloud page. But I love it. It actually it clocks in at 128.
I was about to say it must be faster.
For me, it's much faster, and it puts it in that like late hour set along with songs like Shut Up and Dance and I Got a Feeling and some of these other songs. So it's in that sweet spot as far as BPM, and I love it. It's very true to the original, but it just punches up the energy and obviously the BPM. So I think it's perfect. So we both have that on our list. We also both have Crazy in Love, Jay-Z and Beyonce. Just phenomenal song for me. Great hip hop, R&B song. And I write about that. God, I'm not going to mention this every single time, but I also write about that in the book. There's a day on Crazy in Love because we don't know yet, because neither one of them have said it or not. We don't know if that was the beginning of their relationship or if they were already kind of seeing each other and worked on that song. But it definitely was near the beginning of their relationship, Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah, for sure.
But some people have theorized that might have been, that experience of working together in the studio may have been the beginning of their romantic relationship. So an interesting aside. And then my fifth one here in alphabetical order, and I'm interested to see, because you didn't get to this alphabetically. Do you have Danza Kuduro on your list?
No, but it was on the border.
Yeah, so to me, that is one of the, again, 130 BPM, so it goes right up there. I don't even need to have a lot of Latinos at my party. I was
going to ask you that, yeah.
People love that song. It's got great energy to it. I've actually tried a few different remixes, but I stick with the original because the original just is a great intro. I usually, as I rarely do with most, I usually play the entire. It's only 3 minutes and 19 seconds, but I rarely beat out of that. So Danza is number 5 in mine in alphabetical order. So we have two out of 5 in similar. So
I'm over here taking notes, writing down stuff. All right, so starting my next 5, Snoop, Drop It Like It's Hot. You ever play that one?
I play it, but it's not on my list. And that's New Millennial?
Yeah, that was.
I guess that would. Yeah,
I can't remember. Early 2000s, I think. Tayo Cruz, Dynamite.
It's on my list.
Still play that. Get Low, Lil Jon.
Considered that, but it didn't make the list.
Yeah.
What I did was the same thing I did last time. I dumped a folder together, and then I think when I first opened it, I had like 37 songs, so I started deleting, and that was part of that first 37, but didn't make the eventual cut.
And then let's see, the 5th one, Pitbull, Neo, Afrojack, Give Me Everything.
Yeah, that was another one that initially, but then they came out.
Still play that, man. It still goes over.
No, I do too. It's part of that because what is that, like 128? So it's definitely part of that late night, higher energy dance. But yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
It didn't make my final 25.
Okay, hit me.
No. I think it was only 3 games.
No. Crazy in Love, Drop It Like It's Hot, Dynamite, Get Low.
Crazy in Love was the end of your last 5.
Oh, sorry. You're right. Drop It Like It's Hot, Dynamite, Get Low, Give Me Everything. Oh, Outkast, Hey Ya.
Yep, that's on my list. So we had 2. All right. So my next 5 in alphabetical order, I knew Despacito wasn't going to be on your list. And listen, this might in the next year or 2 fall off.
Sure. But
I am still using this consistently.
Sure.
I love the fact I've got a full tilt remix that clocks in at 105.
Yep.
So to me, this is the perfect. I know I've talked about this in seminars and on this podcast. I love coming out of dinner with a sort of mid-tempo vibe and not having to say a word and kind of filling the dance floor that way. Songs like Africa, the original, not the Weezer, are perfect for that.
Yeah.
And I find Dynamite is just, Despacito is just perfect for that. It's just got that cool, chill, mid-tempo vibe. And there's a lot of times I can drop that. And next thing I know, I've got the dance floor packed and I don't even need to say a word. So that's definitely, and again, it could come off in the next year or 2, but right now that's still almost a must play for me.
Okay.
You mentioned Dynamite. I have Dynamite on the list. I love that song. I love any dance song that also has a prompt that goes along with it.
Here.
So there's a lot of throw your hands up in the air in that song. And also I think the chant in it, whatever he's saying, is sort of a sing-along section. So I love that one. Now, again, I imposed this restriction on myself that I was only going to do 1 per artist.
Yeah.
So I've got my Pitbull song in here, and that was a hard decision to make. My Pitbull song, my one and only, is Fireball. I think it's a fantastic song. And again, it's got that great drop in it. So I can either, if it's not going over great, I mix out of it early. But if it's going over really, really banging, I do the whole thing where he takes it all the way down and then builds it back up. And the build back, finishes with that Fireball. So there's different things you can do with the crowd. Yeah, that opening hook is recognizable. So that is no doubt that's my Pitbull song from the last 18 years. I do have Hey Ya. That was one of the ones I considered that was close to getting eliminated.
Yeah.
But Hey Ya was definitely made the list, and I still use it often enough. And when I do, it's got great energy and it packs the dance floor, so I love it. And then you might have this on your list. You just haven't gotten there alphabetically. I Got a Feeling by Black Eyed Peas.
100%. Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Right. I mean, you have to have that song on your list.
For this century or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I forget what year that is.
Right.
Got it. Probably 10 years old, maybe. At this point.
09 it says on
9, 10 years. Yeah, but I mean that still packs for me.
Still works.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that's our 10. We've got 4 out of our top 10 is the same. So, yeah. All right.
All right.
Up
next 5.
What was the last thing you said? Hey, yeah.
That was the last one I said. So my next one, Nelly, Hot in Her. Here.
Okay. Again, close, but I had to eliminate that towards the end.
Okay. Then I Got a Feeling. We just said that. Do you still play I Love It, Icona Pop?
My list.
Okay. It is on your list. Yeah, good. Ignition Remix, R. Kelly.
Yeah, I didn't even consider that.
Man.
That's that big for you, huh?
Yeah, man. It's
what would you say out of 10 gigs? How often do you play that?
7.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Especially like if I'm looking for like a. I mean, it appears on a lot of my lists, number 1. But especially if I'm like heading out, like maybe I'll hit, a few like major, like an I Got a Feeling or even a Shout, and then I know it's too hyped to close it like completely down with like a ballad. So I would step that and then step to the ballad and then send people off or something.
And by the way, I would say the same thing about any song that's on my list here. I probably play at least 70% of my gigs.
Yeah.
Unless it's on a no list.
Yeah.
Or,
same.
I mean, some of my hip hop songs, unless I have a bride that says no rap or something like that, most of these songs I'm probably hitting.
Did you put any novelty dances in? Or
no.
Line dance? Me neither.
No.
Okay. Okay, so Hot in Here, I Got a Feeling, I Love It, Ignition Remix, 50 Cent in the Club.
Yep, it's on my list too.
2003. That's what it says here.
Yep.
Okay.
Was that 5?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that time we had 3 out of the same 5. I pick up with I Love It. That is to me, great dance song and sing along as well. To me, it not only packs the dance floor, but you can dump that I Love It. People get involved
Female
in it.
anthem.
People love it. Yeah. Chick anthem, no doubt. That's probably a politically incorrect term nowadays.
Totally.
I use it all the time. But yeah. In the Club by 50 Cent.
Yes.
No doubt, one of my hip hop favorites. It's a great song. People love it.
I love
it. And as I point out in my book, God, that's getting annoying. I had to stop that. When 50 Cent wrote it, and he said it will never go out of style because it is always somebody's birthday.
Oh man, that's a great point.
You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why you can always drop that. And in any given club or at any large party, somebody is celebrating a birthday.
100%.
Whether it's not that day, it was last weekend, or it's this coming weekend. So yeah, it's always going to work. And that's one of the reasons.
I never heard that. That's amazing.
I'm going to guess you don't have Jennifer Lopez, Let's Get Loud.
I don't.
Yeah, that to me is a brainer. I think it's 2000 or 2001, so it's just
early. Yeah.
And but yes, I love that song. Play it at almost every single party. Levels, Avicii.
No, but I do love that. Yeah.
That's one of my high energy dance songs, end of the night kind of set. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one more. Lose Yourself by Eminem is another hip hop. Love it. Great energy.
You changed the version, or
I've got a select rewind remix that I use. Yeah.
Is it a little faster than the
87 BPMs?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I probably clock it up into the 90s most times. But I just when that it's got a 32 beat intro, but then when that boom 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 starts, people just lose their mind.
Yeah. I love it.
Very.
I'm taking notes. All right, my next one. Low, Flo Rida.
That'll be my next one.
Right, okay. Party in the USA, Miley. You dropped that?
It was in my. It was there until the very end. I finally had to eliminate it to get down to 25. But it was close, but it did not make my list.
Okay. How about Party Rock?
It goes back to one of our previous music ones. You love that.
I do.
Party Rock Anthem, definitely.
Yep. I wish you'd given me that parameter, because I did hit Nelly again. Ride With Me kills every time.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, so if I had given you that parameter, what Nelly song would you have kept in?
Ride With Me.
Hot in Here?
No, Ride
you
With
would have. Wow, yeah. That's shocking to me.
Because it's got that call and response kind of thing. That hey, must be the money. If you want to go and take people, I mean, I could drop the fader and people,
that's a great tidbit. Anytime you have a call and response, it works.
Dude,
no doubt.
Especially like tonight, I have a corporate gig. I mean, those sales guys are, hey, must be the money.
It's like to the window.
Yeah, to the wall. Yeah. And then I think I got one more here. Low, Party in the USA, Party Rock Anthem, Ride With Me, Sexy Back, Timberlake.
Yeah, again. Wow, we had 2 that time.
Yeah.
That was on the list, but I eliminated it because I wanted Can't Stop This Feeling.
Yeah.
But I even think I would have eliminated it anyway.
Yeah.
It just good, but it's not perfect. But it does go back to that one teen point that I made. It is a great song for coming at, because what is that, like 118?
Yep. Absolutely.
So it's great for coming out of hip hop and then pitching up to get to a dance track. So, all right. Flo Rida, Low, great song. Love it. It's one of those rare hip hop songs, but it's higher BPMs.
Yep.
So, if you're up in the dance category and somebody goes, hey, can you play some rap? You don't have to go down into the 100s to get it. Low is one of those great songs that you can satisfy requests without pitching all the way down. I put Mr. Brightside in mainly because I wanted to have something that was just dance or hip hop.
Right.
I've been getting a ton of requests now for that. I forget what year that is, but it must be getting to that point where it's almost retro again.
Yeah.
ton of requests, but because I've been getting a ton of requests and I've been watching it work, I've been playing it more often, even when I don't get a request, and it goes over great. I'll play the original version sometimes. I do have a remix that I play sometimes. Sure. I think it's a master mix. But either way, when people hear that guitar hook intro, most people lose it. Daft Punk, One More Time.
Oh man,
it's a great dance song. It's also a great finale song for me. So that's one of the reasons why it made my list. Yeah. It's great. It works in any set, but it's got that great breakdown in it. And if you use it as your finale, that is a great window to kind of do a, one more time round of applause for the bride and groom.
Sure.
Maybe mention where they're going on their honeymoon. Maybe even give shout out to the parents of the bride and parents, because you've got, I think, like a 30-second drop. So you can do a lot of things as an MC during that, and then come out of the drop.
Where it starts to build back.
Yeah. You mentioned Party Rock Anthem. That was, I considered Sexy and I Know It or Party Rock Anthem, but I Party Rock Anthem as my one LMFAO song.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Trying to think what I started this list with. Okay, and then Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. Didn't make your list?
No, but I play it a lot.
Yeah, to me, it's one of those high energy. It's great. It goes with Hey Ya perfectly. Sure. It comes out of Cupid Shuffle perfectly.
Sure.
I know some people hate it. Tom Monaco, one of our top guys, just can't stand that song. It's like nails on a chalkboard for him. Right. But I don't care about a song when it's packing my dance floor. Right. I don't evaluate it. Yes, is it something I'd ever listen to on my own time? Absolutely not. But I just love the song. All right. So your final five in alphabetical order.
Final five. Shut Up and Dance. That's on your list.
Yeah.
Turn Down for What?
Nope.
Wow. Yeah.
Don't use it as much anymore. Did for a while.
Yeah.
I kind of like, if we had done this list 2 years ago, and no doubt that would have been on my list, but just don't use it that much anymore.
Uptown Funk.
Yep. That's on my list.
We Found Love, Calvin and Rihanna.
No, I was close to making my list, but I didn't. I know that climax in the end of that is so good. Yeah,
it's one of my. I got a lot of just great memories.
That was definitely part of the initial dump, and then it got eliminated as trimmed down. Yeah.
And then Usher.
Okay, so we got 3.
Yeah.
So we wound up with 6, 10. We wound up with 12 out of 25, the same.
Damn.
So just about half. Yeah. So if you're listening to this and you want to compare lists, you're gonna wind up with 38. I don't know. I can't do the math. Okay, so my final 5, 13 and 30. So we have 12 similar. You wind up with 38 different songs.
There you go.
Shut Up and Dance, no doubt, great dance song as well as a great finisher. I've finished a lot of parties with that. Last Song of the Night is excellent. I have Starships by Nicki Minaj. I love that song. I use a Full Tilt remix that I love it. And again, it's got a prompt in hands up and touch the sky. And I love how they dumped the MF in that.
Yeah. What did they do? I forgot.
Well, they changed it, obviously, higher than a mother. And but I mean, so many of my crowds, because it's a late night song.
Right.
And P.S., that's another one similar to Low. If you have a hip hop request, but you're already up at 120s, you can satisfy it with that. I love this song. Maybe it's my own personal preference, but I put that into a lot of late night dance sets, and it goes over great. Uptown Funk, Bruno Mars, obviously, it's really a Mark Ronson song featuring Bruno Mars. I don't use a remix of that. I just use a straight up for the most part. It's got that very cool boom, 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 boom intro, and then a great exactly. And sometimes I'll do just a minute and a half. Sometimes I'll do the whole song. But either way, I know you don't get a ton of Spanish requests, so I didn't think this would be on your list. But Vivia Mi Vida. Correctly.
Mark Anthony,
probably the best salsa to come out in the new millennium. It's just and it's another one, 105 BPMs. I will come out of dinner sometimes with that if I've got a big Latino crowd. Not even say a word when that opening hits. Pack the dance floor. And then just go from there. And then I end my list with because that's one of the best hip hop songs of
ever.
I think could be playing but sure. 20, I mean, I don't know if I'll be doing parties 20 years from now, but I think 20 years from now, that'll be one of the songs that hangs on.
It's still, no doubt. Yeah, it's unbelievable. This was
good
list.
Yeah, man. It's good. I didn't have that many the same. Really good.
Really good, guys. So Mike, just tell them briefly, real quick, one more time where they can learn about the workshop.
We talked about it at the beginning of the podcast. The workshop will take place March 15th and 16th, I believe. It's Thursday and Friday at the end of Mobile Beat. So go to mobilebeat.com, check out the full roster of speakers there, get your Mobile Beat pass, and then go to phdjworkshop.com, check out our itinerary, and sign up for our workshop. Guaranteed, you do that full week from Monday till Friday, you are going to leave there and have the best year ever. 2019 will just be an epic year for you. Guaranteed.
Thanks again for listening, guys.
Ciao.
Later, Mike.